Okay, so I'm starting a new project today and I'm trying to build a music recommender system. So before I start, I thought that I would make a video explaining how I start a project. It's more like a record for me as well and for anyone who wants to, start projects and set them up quickly with all the important things. And yeah, let's get started on this. So usually what I'll do is I'll first go and make a GitHub repository. So because I'm using GitHub because obviously I want to store my work, have the versioning, and maintain the record of what kind of changes I am doing. And basically GitHub will help me be organized and save my project and add to it like regularly. And it's also an industry norm. So for beginning I will just create a private project because I have nothing at this moment to show to the world. Usually I wait until I have like a first working draft which I can show to people in form of some kind of demo. Until that time I just keep the repository as private. So we'll keep the repository private. We'll add a readme file, add an git ignore template for Python, and license for this moment nothing. We can think about these settings later. And then I'll create the repo. Once the repo is created, so usually I will go and edit the description right away. So this is a music recommendation system based on, at this moment I'm thinking, users mood inputs, time of the day, season, where the user is. I don't know how to do this at this point, but these are some of the factors that I was thinking I would consider while I'm making the recommendation system. And since I'm going to use Spotify, uh, so I will mention that as well. And this is music recommendation, then machine learning. You can add as many keywords: Spotify, web API, whatever. At this moment, that's what I'm doing. So we'll save that, then we'll clone this particular repo. So for that, I'll go to GitHub. I'll start a new Visual Studio Code window. Visual Studio Code is something that I use. I'll clone my repo and I will save it in a location where I usually store my GitHub projects. And voila, we have the setup, we have the git ignore file. So I don't usually remember things in terms of what commands need to work, but I think whenever I set up a project, according to me the most important files is a make file. That should definitely go. If it's a Python project, it should have a requirements.txt and a .env file for saving our environment variables, and a .env example file as well, uh, which we can use in the readme to help the user understand uh, what sort of environment variables are expected. So to set up all these files, like starting from make file, I will open up a new window. I'll basically copy the commands that I had in one of my like already created in one of my previous projects. So wow, my computer is unresponsive. Let me just go here for now. Open a new window, and I want to open common summary XML project. In here I have a make file. Let me just arrange my window properly once. So in here I have a make file. We can even look at the structure of this. So this project had a make file. This project had requirements.txt, readme, git ignore, environment variables, and whatnot. And if you're using a streamlit file, your variables basically go in secrets.toml. So you might not know what all you will build right away, but definitely when you're building a Python project, you will have certain requirements, that packages that you want to download as requirements, and you can store them in requirements.txt. So makefile is essentially like a shortcut file. So instead of me going to the terminal and typing out this entire command to upgrade pip or install requirements every time, I just do make requirements, and that will run this huge command, and make run. If I'm thinking of building a streamlit app, so I'll just keep this as it is. And because I'm going to make a streamlit app, I'm going to need an app.py file, because that's what it's going to run. So I'll create that as well. Then we can take a look at requirements.txt. Now requirements would differ for every project. Now this one used OpenAI. I know for sure that it's going to use Spotify, and it's going to use Streamlit, and what else? For now this is enough. Like, I don't think I the moment you think of other libraries that you're going to use, you can add them here. For now, like, I am keeping only those two. Sorry, I've pasted this in app.py. This should be in requirements.txt. Then what do we have? Environment variables, that will depend when we do the setup. Another thing that you would want to do is you would want to basically copy the readme as well. Now I won't copy the entire, maybe let me just copy the entire readme for now. What else? Do I need anything else from this app? Not really, so I can just close this. I've copied it. I can go to readme, I can paste this entire thing below. So obviously I'm not gonna need this because that's for the other app. I'm not going to need the goal. You can, maybe we can copy the same description that we had here for now, paste it over here. Okay, approach, define later. Let's just add it. And how to use, most of the steps will remain same. So we will create a virtual environment, we will download dependencies using make requirements, because we're not going to use YouTube API. Maybe here we'll have the step for a Spotify API step, and I can add this as a to do. Basically to do, change this. Okay, create a symlit folder. Yeah, that will stay. Even this will go. I think we just need Spotify API setup for now. I don't think we need OpenAI. This step will go as well. You can edit this whenever, like later, as well as you add more steps. And yeah, I think this much is enough. Example, maybe when I'll add, that's when I'll see. So this is like a good edit. And actually let's go ahead and do the first few steps. So I will create a Python uh, virtual environment here, but I want to name it environment. Okay, virtual environment. Let's just create one and switch to that one and activate. So it's activated now, right? And let's just add it in our git ignore. Actually, you know what, I am just gonna copy, remove unnecessary things from this. uh, I think it already includes what I want to remove. Yeah, pretty much. I think we can keep it like this only. So, yeah, I think we are good to go. So, we have the make file, we have an ad, so maybe we can actually go ahead and download Spotify and um, Streamlit in this virtual environment. So, let's download that. So, you see that command is run now, and it's upgrading pip and downloading those libraries in this virtual environment. Okay, we usually prefer doing virtual environments because some projects might require a certain version of the library that you're using. Maybe if you're using pandas, for example, then maybe in some project you're using a lower version of pandas because of some um, restrictions, or maybe it was that way and some other things are built on that version's capabilities. So virtual environments help us keep the requirements for each project separate, so we don't mix them. We have like our own world where we download the requirements for that particular project. So we have, oh, we have Spotify, and we have Streamlit installed now. And app.py has nothing. That's okay. Maybe I could copy. This is what I do. I kind of repurpose code from different projects because I can't remember a lot of things, to be honest, like in terms of syntax and stuff. Oh, so I usually remember only the important things, which are like logic and stuff like that. But otherwise, like I usually prefer, repurposing code. So maybe I will go and where is my, okay. Oh, so probably I opened in the same window. Yeah, this happens a lot of times, more than you'll think of. Okay, got it. Left and right. Okay. Good thing is virtual environments get so like restored. So that's a nice thing. Okay, so I would maybe let me just type it out so that way I'll remember also, kind of. So we are importing Streamlit. Then let's just add a title for now: music recommendation system. Maybe I'll write iPrincast music recommendation system. Give it a personalized touch. Maybe we can add the description that we added as well. Mm-hmm. Love nicely formatted code. Okay, we have it. Then we basically set up our container with st.container, and then inside that container I think we can just do what? So left side was my form and right side was my um, I just need one column, to be honest. Maybe let's see. I'm not explored Streamlit as such, so we can try running this application and see what pops up. Ooh, not bad. That's okay. Cool. So that's like the first setup, first something for my recommender. Now, obviously, we want to check in the code on the changes that we have done. So, what I'm gonna basically do is I'm going to first do git add to add all the new files I've created to the commit. I will do, if you'll see, environment v environment git ignore. Oh, the inside git ignore, these two are like set to be ignored. That's why you don't see it. So that's why it's grayed out. Then I'll do git commit. I'll add message first commit. Then I'll do git push. Voila! Here we have our first commit. Yay! So that's setting up a project. Now I will make videos, further videos, if there is something that is like worthy of telling you about. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.